Hello my dear viewers and my dear student. Today I'll teach you standard operating procedure. As you know, this topic is quite relevant if you people are interested in any type of job in the futures. Fine, and this topic is very helpful. SOPs and standard operating procedure. Before proceeding it, please do subscribe my channel and don't forget to like and share this video. First of all, what do you mean by SOPs? It mainly depends on 5W and 1H. What do you mean by 5W? It is what, who, when, where, why and how. What are the SOPs? Who needs SOPs? When do you use SOPs? Where do you use SOPs? Why are SOPs important? And how to write SOPs. This is all about 5W and 1H. Now, what is SOPs? SOP is a set of written instructions that document a routine activity within your company, division and work group. This document describes the operation of certain group or job in order to ensure its quality. We need to focus on the quality when we need to work on any equipment and on with any procedures. Fine. It is a set of compulsory instruction system, procedures or step which is written so that the other individual can follow to complete the job safely. Who needs SOP? The person who will perform a particular job such as manager, engineers, planner, safety officers, company representative and anybody performing that work that need SOPs. When do you use SOPs? Every day. In the preparation for an audit or review, during an audit or review, orienting new staff, annual training. In every case, we need to have SOPs. Where do you use SOPs? Training new staff, guiding all staff in daily processes, monitoring review, that is a confidential document. This is mainly used for internal review only. Regulatory body review, confidential document, that is also used for internal reviews only. Here examples, disclosure, that is a confidential. This document contains proprietary information and do not distribute without prior written permission. We need to have, and generally we need to mention here confidential. As I mentioned here, you can see confidential, we need to put that is on confidential. Where are SOPs important? SOPs describe how to perform routine activities. It is help to provide training aid. For example, if the new joining are there, we need to train them. At that moment, SOPs are help to train that guy. Guide and standardize working procedures, ensure quality and integrity of data generated or information captured, reconstruction and repeatability. Provide an auditing tool, consistency, written documentation of proper procedures, toolbox for staff and documentation of safety or staff training. How to write SOPs? Here there is an outline of standard operations, standard operating conditions. Here we need to mention the public actions that are centered, actions that have certain degree of repetitiveness. For example, we need to mention the meaning of human action that should be required in order to produce the necessary action required by the people are standardized. Repetitive actions mean standardize the process step for producing the same product each time. We know that if we are dealing with any process, that method should be precise or precision should be there. We are not concerning about the accuracy first, we need to check the precision also. Each time work content is different, it cannot be improved. We need to mention that. Standard operation is operation that satisfy the above condition can be standardized so that machine processing job such as machine automation operation, abnormal operations, automation production lines are difficult to achieve standardization. In detail, Like it start from process description based on production department. Describe, we need to mention the work processes that started from the beginning of work, then what to do first, then what to do again, what to do next. After that we need to mention the corresponding main processes. In that we need to mention the corresponding sub processes. For example, we need that in the main processes there are detailed sub processes also. We need to describe each and every steps in detail. Fine. Next is the SOP preparation. When we need to prepare any kind of SOP, we need to start from corresponding key factors. Fine. Key factor, when we need to describe the key factor, we need to write them according to the description of the job in each sub processes. For example, we need to see process, safety, their quality, equipment, environmental protection, all that. In that we need to follow this detailed description. It started from full participation and collaboration, then meet the requirements of technical documents and standard, then meet the operational and equipment adaptability. Then we need to improve the process. If there is any kind of loophole or any kind of drawback, we need to monitor that. After that, personnel, we need to prepare the personnel for computer operation, then have field experience and have certain writing basis employee. After that, we need to support them, or we need to support the process by providing them special type or provide relevant information, etc. And these are the main part of SOP format. It started from the key factor, then related document and the references, then equipment diagram, prepare before operation. We knew that if, for example, if we need to manufacture new product, before starting it, we need to prepare SOPs, like what step we need to follow them. Fine. After that, there are the steps, then common faults and their simple troubleshooting, then emergency handling, and last is the flow. Fine. In the key factor, we need to mention each and every factor. We need to start from environmental factor according to the requirement of environmental management system. We need to mention, or we need to identify the factor that are related to the operations. After environmental factor, we need to check the safety, then hygiene, then quality. In the safety, we have to mention the factor that are related to its safety management system. And in the hygiene, according to the requirement of hiccup management system, we need to identify the factor that are related to it. If you want to know about hiccup, please to mention in the comment box. And in the quality factor, we need to relate the quality control point factor with the operation in accordance with the requirement of the technical documentation. In the writing requirement, we need to list all the key factors, then briefly describe each control measure. In this, we need to mention all quality standard and then specify the equipment parameters to be achieved to control these standards. Then related document, in that we need to mention the document and their related information that should be known and familiar before reading and operating that procedure. Equipment diagram, for example, if there is any kind of picture, we need to mention. We need to mention the main equipment involved in SOP in the form of picture or the photos. In that moment, it is helpful to provide the 3D image to the viewer or to the operator. It helps to develop and specify the number of equipment components such as valves, pumps, button, whatever is present there. The worker will be know about that. Then prepare before operation. In that we need to mention the common tools, then maintenance tool, then protective tools that are involved in the operation and cleaning the tools, etc. We need to mention the related records that are required for the operation, then safety measures. Describe the safety precaution that should be implemented before the operation. In that we need to include their wearing that protective equipment, then confirm that all the safety measures are in place and understand safety events during operation such as emergency measures, etc. That should be ready to work. Describe the work that needs to be done before the operation, including job content, then highlight materials or work in processing. we need to prepare before operation. For example, if you need to make any kind of salt, we need to have their reactant beforehand. The content of the job should include, like in the step we need to mention the content of job, that include entire contents of entire operation procedure. The key point is to emphasize and explain the content of job. It is best to know all critical factors such as information, but it is not an operation steps. Fine. After that, we need to check their common faults and their troubleshooting. In that, we need to check the quality. Qualified operator should understand the basics of operating the equipment and be familiar with the some simple method of operation for common faults that should be divided into 3 columns. First is symptom, then fault content, then method and the tools to use. That should be simple and easy to operate. And next is the emergency handling. In that, any operator must understand the action plan to be taken to avoid unnecessary losses. That should be divided into 2 headings. One is the emergency action and next is the special tips. That these steps should be simple and easy to operate. For example, if there is a problem with any instrument, we should know how we can handle that problem. That should be mentioned in that SOPs. Flow chart. We need to use correct flow chart symbol, the beginning and the ending of operation, then specific step or event, then specify the direction of process. That should be need to judge and make decision. It is helpful. Last is the effective writing for SOPs. Language should be simple, and there are few steps that should be short. We need to use direct instruction, indicate time scale, refer to other SOP rather than rewrite instructions. Include flowchart, diagram or photos if these describe something better than the words. Avoid making it too long. Write to do not lots of preambles. We should mention if there is we need to follow. If the SOP is same for the other equipment also, we need to mention. We need to see that SOP. Avoid writing in the third person. Stepwise instructions are the best. Level of detail is important. Explain acronyms. If we mention any kinds of acronyms or synonym, we need to mention. Avoid unnecessary specification. Do not use a blue bucket if the color does not matter. For example, if we need to measure any kind of thing into the bucket, don't mention the color. Avoid alternative unless necessary within technical requirement, then explain what dictates which course of action. Avoid ambiguity that cause extra work if the reader misunderstands. Use imperative sentence instead of passive voice. We need to mention the active things. Writing should not be complicated one. It should be simple and easy to understand to everyone. What to include in SOPs? In that we need to mention from the title, that should be short and to the point. Edition number that gives the document control, then issue date, when did it come into use, then author who to speak to you. If you have a question, we need to mention that. Introduction, set the scene, then scope or exclusion, then safety consideration. Last is the material and the equipment. This information we need to mention in SOP. And this is the common format of SOP. It start like first one is the first format. In it we need to start from company name. After that we need to mention their logo, then product, production flow, then version history. In that we need to mention the version number and the date, then change initiated, then initiator name. Fine. This is the first format, and other is if there is a flow chart, we can mention in this manner the flow chart. Like firstly we need to start from this, then this. Again we need to follow the same. Fine. And in the third, if there is a flow chart, we can describe the flow chart in the description with the photo, and we need to mention the timeline. We can follow this SOP. These are the different formats of the SOPs. Like this is the fourth one SOPs. Fine. Then the applied for job, all that. This again, like we need to mention each and everything, then annexure, all that. Fine. In this way you can write the SOPs by your own. Fine. This is all about, and these are the reference you can refer in the future. If you really like to watch these videos in these type of videos in the future also, you can like follow these reference. Fine. This is all about the SOPs. If you really like to watch these type of videos in the future also, don't forget to like and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you.